attempt to adjust your sets. Do not attempt to adjust the volume. Sean the Body Johnson has joined you here, graced you with his presence, because there has been biased announcing here. Andrew Pendelton III, my heart goes out to you for having to work with men like Timmy D, men like Brett Wolverton, week after week. And right now, the only way to justify such a great tag team title match would be have the most unbiased announced team here, an elite announced team.
Yes, sir.
Back here in Anarchy Wrestling. Of course, we have Alabama Attitude, Mike Posey, and Corey Hollis teaming up to take on the new Anarchy Wrestling Tag Team Champions. This team of The Movement, I wish they would move. We've got in the ring here, Najasism, and yes, that too, and the Vandal. Now I wasn't here. I'm retired. I'm chilling in my beach house down in Fort Lauderdale. I come up here. I get the call from Jeff G. Bailey that they need a little bit of help, as we see Corey Hollis here taking it to Najasism, and now with some good chain wrestling here. But he calls me up and he says, "Hey, look, I've got a problem. I've got these announcers here who do not know how to extol the greatness of the NWA Elite. They don't know how to speak about it, and I'm here." And right now, Andrew Pendelton III, John the Body Johnson,
You know what, John? The only thing that I can say right now is thank you, Mr. Jeff G. Bailey, because I am so excited to have a man of your caliber in this announce booth. I am so excited to get rid of Brett Wolverton that I had to suffer through the last hour squeezed in this announce room with the Wolverton.
And I know exactly how you feel, and right now, Najasism knows how it feels.
Is that how you say it? Not just
you know what? Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter, because after today, it's going to be former Anarchy Tag Team Champion, whatever his name is, Najasism, as he takes on Corey Hollis here now. The team of Alabama Attitude, Corey Hollis, Mike Posey, two men who are very familiar to the Anarchy Wrestling crowd, two men who are very familiar to the Anarchy arena here. They've been around for quite some time. Mike Posey, back many, many moons ago, got his start here in the Anarchy arena as a referee. Moved out of being an official to quite the accomplished professional wrestler. Has only gotten better since. And right now, Corey Hollis, another young man who has came up here in the ranks of Anarchy Wrestling right here in the Anarchy arena, cut his teeth here, moved on, has been, going not just across the region of the Southeast, not just across the United States, but around the world to hone his craft, to get better. And this right here is going to be a true test for the Movement, your tag team champions.
You know what, John? The one key element that I do want to hit on is the fact that Corey Hollis, Mike Posey, they know each other very well. They work very fluidly as a tag team. Quick tags in and out, a lot of high-impact stuff, compared to the Movement, which are a relatively new tag team. So they're not as experienced. They don't know each other as well.
Well, and I'll tell you, that's one thing. And you being a former Anarchy Tag Team Champion, you being, a man who's done that 2 times, who has, been a successful tag team wrestler, you know what it's like. You know what it's like to, and I mean, this is actually a position you've been in. When you had a partner that you were very familiar with, that you built your rhythm with, when you have to dump that partner, or when that partner gets injured, has to leave, and you bring in somebody new, it's hard. It is very hard to come back in and get that same rhythm. But right now, I will say this about the Movement. They are looking really good against Mike Posey in that ring right now. I mean, they've come up huge here in Anarchy Wrestling.
I'll tell you what, definitely after being with a former unnamed tag team associate, maybe had something to do with, started with the T and ended with the T, when he may or may not have tucked the tail between his legs and ran away, I had to start from the ground up, and that's not easy. There's one thing, it's easy to win the tag team, let me rephrase, it's not easy to win the tag team championship, but every dog has its day in the sun. But what the hard part is retaining your tag team championship with the caliber of opponent opponents that Anarchy Wrestling is going to put you up against. Like you said, worldwide recognized opponents. People that have traveled the entire world honing their craft, coming in, trying to dethrone you every week, week in and week out. It's a lot to swallow, a tough pill to swallow.
The one thing that I do remember is, just before leaving is, seeing these two men as singles, seeing Najasism and Vandal as two single wrestlers, and knowing that they didn't really, they showed potential, but they weren't at that point where the flash wasn't there yet. But I mean, they defeated the Urban Assault Squad last week on Anarchy Television for those tag team titles, and we know, and no disrespect to you, sir, the Urban Assault Squad is one of, if not the most decorated tag team to ever step foot in the Anarchy arena, to have ever wrestled in Anarchy Wrestling. To beat them, that is a major feather in your cap.
If you want to talk about just turning knots in your stomach, get in the ring with a partner and stare down the Urban Assault Squad. You know that they're not just there to beat you. They're there to hurt you. They're there to make a point. And that's what they attempted to do. And you know what? They may have squeaked out a win, but how much did it cost? What type of toll did it take on their bodies? And what does that come into play tonight?
Well,
how beaten up are they?
Well, anytime that, you defeat a high-profile tag team, you defeat a successful tag team like the Urban Assault Squad, when your first defense is against a team that you've never faced. Now, you can watch all the video in the world that you want to. And I used to tell my guys this all the time when I managed. I told guys, look, we can sit here and watch tape all you want to. The only way you're going to be able to know exactly what to do is to get in there and do it. When you have a team here that you're not familiar with, your game plan drastically changes.
And that's the thing, you have to be able to think on your feet, because what you see on the tape might not be what you see in the ring. And you know what? The other team's preparing as well. Just like any sort of sport or contest, the other team has a game plan, and you don't know what they're going to come out with, what type of move, what type of maneuvers, and anything. You don't know what to expect. There's no way to anticipate anything in this sport. And that's what you have to be prepared for, is the unexpected.
And right now, as you see, we got Mike Posey in the ring right now. Referee Dee Byers checking in on the Vandal. John the Body Johnson here with Andrew Pendelton III. Anarchy Wrestling, your main event here for the Anarchy Tag Team Championship. And before we go any further, what about that blockbuster announcement that was made just before this matchup? No, I'm not talking about my return. I'm talking about, what about that blockbuster next week in the big 10-man tag, as it's going to be the Elite taking on the team of Team Anarchy. We already know the one stipulation in place for War Games at Hardcore Hell. We know that if Team Anarchy wins that matchup, that a member of Team Anarchy is going to get 5 minutes with Jerry Palmer. But what about the proposal for next week's 10-man tag, as if Team Elite wins, then the stipulation at Hardcore Hell and War Games is going to be that Jerry Palmer gets control of Anarchy. Franklin Dove is gone. He gets full control, full ownership again.
Hallelujah.
That's what I say. I'm a Jerry Palmer guy.
Yes, sir.
And right now, we got both men down. Najasism trying to breathe some life into his partner, the Vandal. Corey Hollis next to Mike Posey, the Vandal there, and we got two fresh men in the ring, and this is important here for the tag team champions.
Oh.
Right there we see the Vandal.
Look at that.
Taking over to Mike Posey, goes in almost like an STO, and then a lung blower. A big series of moves there. Now, this is the one thing I do like about this Najasism guy. I don't like his name, I don't like his look, but the one thing I do like is his explosive offense. How quick he moves, how fast he is in that ring. He's one of the quickest men I've ever seen.
You will see some moves in this ring tonight from Najasism that you will not see anywhere else on any other wrestling program in the world.
And right there, what a tag move there. Najasism lays down, has his knees up, as the Vandal does a neck breaker onto Mike Posey. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Corey Hollis, that German, I think Corey Hollis is actually the legal man, which is why Dee Byers didn't make the count. I'm not for sure what's going on here, but somebody's not legal. Okay. Maybe I was wrong. Mike Posey is the legal man in this matchup, but Dee Byers just seems to have lost control.
There's a lot of chaos and commotion in the ring. There's a lot of passion. I mean, this is for the Anarchy Tag Team Championship. These guys are fighting tooth and nail, fighting to the finish.
And you know, those Anarchy Tag Team titles, I mean, they've been held by many great men in this building. You know, like I said, the former tag team champions, the Urban Assault Squad. Yourself, Mr. Andrew Pendelton III.
Yes, sir.
Has held those tag team titles. Iceberg is a former Anarchy Tag Team Champion. I mean, you know, and when you take a look at next week's 10-man tag, I mean, it's covered with former Anarchy Tag Team Champions from head to toe. So, I mean, those Anarchy Tag Team titles have always meant so much. They've always been a focal point. They've always been held by some of the greatest wrestlers in this sport. And right now, Mike Posey,
oh my gosh,
looking to take those titles back to Alabama. It wouldn't be the first time a team from Alabama would be Anarchy Tag Team Champions.
Now you want to talk about a match that puts a team to the test. This is an if the Movement can pull off this win, this is going to be impressive. This is going to be another statement win for the Movement.
Well, the Movement right here.
Wow.
The winner of the match, and still Anarchy Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Movement.
The Movement retains those Anarchy Tag Team Championships. Alabama Attitude walked in here and put up a good fight, but it was not to be on this night. For Andrew Pendelton III, for Brett Wolverton, I am John the Body Johnson. We'll see you in 7 days. Don't forget, that huge 10-man tag is coming up in 1 week. If Team Elite wins, then at War Games, if Team Elite pulls off the win again, Jerry Palmer will once again be the owner. Wait a minute!
What's going on here? The Washington Bullets.
I thought we were going off the air here, but the Washington Bullets have interrupted these proceedings.
Oh my gosh.
And just folded Najasism up in the corner.
He's just left in a heap. They're gonna do it.
Oh my. The Washington Bullets.
The silver plate of that tag team championship across the face. I have hit people with that.
Did you forget about us? Did you forget about us? Najasism, Vandal, the deal's been done, the cake been baked. And they got titles now. Najasism, Vandal, we coming for you. No. You take the passenger seat, I'll bake the cake. You guys got these tag titles. March 30th, Hardcore Hell. How about this? The Bullets against the Movement, and we take what is ours, those tag titles. And you people can't say anything, because you know what? When you face the Washington Bullets, our job is to win, and your job is to lose.
Big words by the Washington Bullets, who just laid out the tag team champions, laying down the challenge for a hardcore hell. Once again, John the Body Johnson, Andrew Pendelton III. We'll see you in 7 days.